also, you know, as well as everything starting to come together and things started to make sense, my body started to change as well. I got my periods, and, you know, the whole body started to process on a different level as well. So my adolescence was very much about pulling everything together, putting the pieces of the puzzle together. For me, that period from birth up until adolescence was quite traumatic, yeah, and I will go into it later, but there were traumatic experiences in my life, and how I manifested dis-ease within my own body was through, absolutely, emotions and feelings of guilt. I was exposed to abuse and alcoholism in my home environment, and I carried a lot of guilt with me. And for anyone out there who is exposed to that, especially at a young age, a type of guilt, it's very much like I couldn't save certain people in my family, I couldn't prevent it. So I carried a lot of guilt with me, and I carried the guilt of not being good enough, because if Kelly was good enough, if Kelly was strong enough, then this wouldn't be happening. She'd be able to save and stop conflict. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. But I carried a lot of guilt. I carried a lot of guilt in terms of not being able to protect my siblings as well in such a traumatic home environment. I also carried so much frustration and so much non-forgiveness. I didn't learn the true meaning of what it feels like to forgive the people that hurt us the most in our life or cause pain or a multitude of things. I was very unforgiving. So I was full of guilt. I was full of grief. I was full of unforgiving thoughts. I was very frustrated. And so when you grow up, when you fill your body up with all those raw, real, traumatic feelings and emotions, that's got to play out and manifest some way in the body over a period of time, for sure. So I was quite an active, healthy, hip little cool thing. It wasn't until I got into my late adolescence that the diagnosis of Crohn's disease presented itself to me. So for me, I manifested dis-ease on a physical level in my body of Crohn's. And when you really begin to understand and put pieces together about Crohn's disease and the actual organs and what they do to themselves, it really is a tangled hot mess. You're tangled. And inside my adolescence, that's what I was feeling. I was tight. I was frustrated. I was, you know, so of course my body would replicate that on the inside. Even though I didn't know that I had my Crohn's up until I was 17, I absolutely experienced stomach aches and headaches and shocking acne, and just always felt tired and lethargic, and I for a very long time just didn't acknowledge it. I was so scared of what I was feeling, and I was so petrified of what it might mean. So again, I kept it very quiet, and I had a lid on it. Through all of this pain, physical, emotional, all of those types of pain, I look back now, and it was absolutely the catalyst for my creativity. It birthed all my creativity. I had something within me that said, Kelly, to get through this, you need to use your talents. Now, whether or not I was an amazing singer, dancer, actor is up to anyone's opinion. But for me, they were things that I absolutely loved to do. I absolutely resonated with them. So I threw myself into my creativity. And especially in my teenage years, I was obsessed, absolutely obsessed with singing, dancing, acting, anything creative, art, anything I could get my hands in where I was expressing and being creative. I played the violin, I did singing lessons, there were so many things that I threw myself into, and it really birthed the creativity of myself. So for me, as a teenager, working through all of that pain, I felt so much happier when I was doing that. So what Spirit showed me when after they reminded me about my teenage years, they then showed me a visual image, and I'm going to talk about it in my last part of the video, and I hope you really enjoy it because it's something pretty cool. Ciao.